This video is going to be a film study look / commentary on what Josh Dobbs was able to accomplish with the Minnesota Vikings in Week 9, the comeback win against the Falcons. I think they came back from 3 separate deficits. He's a lot of fun to watch, at least for me. He's a unique story. In 2023, in many ways, Arizona traded for him in August of 2023, just before the season began. He played in 8 games for them. They were 1-7, only 1 win as a starting quarterback. Now, that was against the Cowboys early in the season. As a Ravens content creator, I previewed the game against the Ravens 2 weeks ago. He's down 24-7 with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they're able to claw back and get within 31-24, and then he kind of tops that after being traded to the Vikings with a comeback win on the road against Atlanta. And I think he'd only been with the Vikings for 5 days. Kyler Murray's coming back soon, so the Arizona Cardinals were able to get rid of Dobbs and recoup something in return for him. The Vikings lost Kirk Cousins, kind of really crazy, almost like a soap opera type description there or happenings. And Dobbs goes over there and gets the win in relief of the rookie Jaron Hall, who got injured. The dude is just a fighter. He's a gamer. I did a little play on words with the title On a Mission. But he never stops competing. And yeah, you can count on him to turn the football over at least once per game. I'll show you a film of that against the Falcons. Some people will say, is his success sustainable? Is he going to be able to do this again? Well, you can't come back from these deficits after turning the football over 2 or 3 times. He's only, I think, 2-7 as a 2-7 record as a quarterback in 2023. He didn't start last week. But the second of these wins, I think this is one to be remembered, hopefully for Josh Dobbs and his family and the people that care about him and coached him. They remember it because it was borderline heroic. Only his 5th day with the Vikings franchise. They're down to Atlanta 11-3 and then 21-13. And then finally they're down 28-24 when Dobbs and the Vikings get the ball back with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. This video is going to be kind of long, to be honest with you. Part of these deficits, for real, was Dobbs' own doing. He's sacked in the end zone by Calais Campbell to give up a safety. He only threw for 158 yards in relief of the rookie starter, Jaron Hall. Like I said, he just finds a way to win. He finds a way to compete. I noticed it previewing the Ravens-Cardinals game from a couple of weeks ago. He believes in what he's doing, and he believes in his teammates. He's trying to make plays with his feet at times. Sometimes it's borderline risky or out of control. But when it works, it can be considered heroic. I'm going to review his play here in video format, show some of the key plays that he made, and also how things did not start off well, but just mad respect for the guy, for a 28-year-old quarterback trying to make a name for himself in this league, trying to generate as many years to play in the NFL as possible and generate wealth for himself and play well and win football games. And that's what he did on Sunday. So we're going to take a look play by play, not each single play. This is second quarter. He's taken over for Hall. Early second quarter, I should say. And it's first pass incomplete to Hawkinson. And then the very next play is going to be the safety. Calais Campbell, former Raven, sacks him in the end zone, a 5-yard loss. And it didn't really get much better, to be honest with you, early. After the sack puts him down, I think, 8-3. The next time he got the football, he'll be sacked again and fumble. And I think it's Arnold Ebiketie who recovers it. The second-year outside linebacker, he forced it as well. He was the guy that forced it, excuse me. So things clearly did not start off well for Dobbs. But this is the way he played for Arizona, at least from what I saw. He could continue to try to make plays, and he started to do that later in the second quarter. This is going to be a pass to Osborne for 13 yards. He played really well on third down, I thought. It's a leaping catch in between a whole bunch of defenders. So, yeah, some of the things he's done this season could be considered risky, and there's times where he turns the football over. It's a 3rd and 8, 4:13 left in the second quarter, and they're down 11-3. You can see Calais Campbell, who's a large human being at 6'8", 330, is in the window. Osborne adjusts, and Dobbs gets the throw around Campbell to keep the drive going. Another third down. This one's going to be complete to Addison. This is a beautiful throw, smash in concept, left sideline for 22 yards again on a 3rd and 11 to the rookie Jordan Addison, somebody who I'm sure he knows his name. There was a lot said about he doesn't even know his teammates' names. He's got to know Jordan Addison. He's got to know Hawkinson. How do you not know a last name like that one? But it's a beautiful throw. Kind of stares it down sometimes, Dobbs, end zone angle, same play, by the way. You're talking about 2 minutes left in the second quarter at this point, clearly staring down that side of the screen. You got an in route by, I think it's Hawkinson, the number 1 receiver, and then Addison was the slot, running the smash or the corner route. Great throw before the safety, Jesse Bates, can get there 22 yards. Again, gets a conversion. 3rd and 10 from the 13. And this play is ridiculous. He escapes one tackler way back by the 30 and ends up diving, and they credit him with the first down. I'm not too sure that he got it. Again, it was 3rd and 10. So the yard to gain is the 3. I guess he stretches the ball out, and that's what he gets credit for. One thing I noticed is these Vikings guys were blocking downfield with a lot of tenacity. They weren't giving up on plays, and they weren't worried about getting fines either, which is what the NFL's trying to do to a lot of people. But blitz off the edge, Dobbs is trying to spin out of it. I think he surprises people with his athleticism. You'll see just in this video multiple instances of him escaping tacklers and then bursting through what looks like smaller running lanes. KO block there by one of the fullbacks, and they give him credit for the first down. Touchdown to the right-hand side to, I think it's Madison. Gets it to within 11-10 late in the second quarter. Make it 11-10 and keep the Vikings around. Fast forward a little bit, third quarter, opening possession. He's going to get sacked and fumble again. So you're talking 2 turnovers. He didn't throw an interception. 2 turnovers. That goes down as a fumble, by the way, not an interception. Sacked in the end zone by Campbell. So there clearly could be and will be people that criticize him, say he shouldn't have even been at the game at that point. In the game at that point, but he's the guy that they brought in from Arizona, comes in for the starter. And even though they go down 14-10 after that possession, he just keeps competing. That's the one thing I feel like when you watch Josh Dobbs' film, and I did a significant amount of that again when I was previewing the Ravens-Cardinals game, he believes in what he's doing. He's just going to keep competing. Down 14-10. This is a 2nd and 11 throw over the top of a defender to Hawkinson. Ends up going for 30 yards, I believe, up the left sideline. I don't think I give you the end zone angle of it, but here's Hawkinson, the inside receiver in a bunch set. And once they motion Powell across, Hawkinson just runs the out. He's already getting ready to pull the pin on the grenade. That's one thing I notice is when there is protection, Dobbs will go through the reads. He'll go through the progression 1, 2, 3, and he'll deliver the football wherever the receiver is open, or a tight end, in this case Hawkinson, who then ends up breaking 2 tackles and turning it into a 30-yard gain. And then the scrambling. Again, the surprising level of athleticism. I'm not surprised. What I'm saying is I think defenders on the field are surprised at how athletic he is and how quickly he's able to get through lanes and then break contain here for a 15 or 13-yard gain on a 1st and 10. A couple of plays later, 3rd and 9 from Atlanta's 14. Incomplete, trying to stick. It's the belief for me that I really like. Now, whether you believe that he can do these things every week or every game, it really doesn't matter. What matters is what Josh Dobbs believes and what his teammates believe for him. He's throwing the football, and then he's making sure that guys can make plays. He's trying to give people opportunities to make plays. Unfortunately, not able to convert that one. Results in a field goal. Closed the Vikings to 14-13. Eventually, the Falcons will go up 21-13 in the third quarter before and they had the ball before Bijan Robinson fumbled. So late third quarter, down 21-13, Josh Dobbs is going to scramble for an 18-yard touchdown. How many 28-year-old quarterbacks who haven't played a whole lot in the NFL all of a sudden start doing these things? He had some scrambles against the Ravens that were pretty impactful. He had a 24-yard touchdown run earlier in the season that was pretty incredible on an option keeper against the Seattle Seahawks, who have a lot of talent, a lot of speed and athleticism on their defense. Josh Dobbs, I don't want to say he's got old man moves, but he reminds me of the guy on the basketball court that shows up, and no matter what you do as a defender, he's going to score 5 or 6 points in a game that goes to 11. 2-point conversion attempt, down 21-19. This is a beautiful throw against tight coverage, down low to allow Jackson to catch it. It's ruled complete. ties the game at 21-all. Again, late third quarter, on the road. Pressure on him on seemingly every single play in terms of Falcons defenders in his face. Eventually, the Falcons got a 28-24 lead, and Dobbs gets the football back with 2:08 left on the road and just beautifully leads them downfield. He'll convert a 4th and 7 on a scramble, and then he'll throw a touchdown pass to Powell, the game-winning touchdown pass on a 3rd down. I don't think that Josh Dobbs is like the answer for a franchise at this point, but I'm just not a person who watches the film and sees dudes making plays like this and then wants to put limitations on them. That's a 2nd and 7 completion, to Jordan Addison underneath the coverage for 6 yards late in the game. Like that's the 2-minute warning play, I believe. China in or whip route, whatever you want to call it, to Addison, complete. Sets up this 3rd and 1. He's really good. He's dangerous on 3rd downs. I mean, that's just really all you can say about it. Again, it's an out route to the boundary to Hawkinson over there isolated against the inside linebacker. And Dobbs knows where to go with the football. Gets the conversion. He's going to go deep to Addison up the right sideline. Probably the best throw of the game other than the game-winning touchdown. It's a cover 2 over there to the top side. I think this one was reviewed. Addison, whether you think he caught it or not, they ruled that he did. This is an amazing throw. To me, it looks like they're setting up 2 read or palms up here to the top side where if number 2 runs an out, this corner is going to take it, and then that forces the safety to play over the top on anything vertical. I think that's what they're trying to play. The tight end doesn't run the out, so the corner you can see is inside leverage of Addison, waiting for an out route that never comes. And Josh Dobbs, he processes things quickly. He gets that ball out of there fast, ends up being a 24-yard gain to Addison up the right side. Let me show you the end zone angle in a moment. I never thought, looking at his arm strength leading up to the Ravens game, that he had a super strong arm, but he gets the ball there in this situation and many others. He's got 10 touchdowns passing on the season, 5 interceptions. I think he's got 10 or 11 fumbles, so that's clearly a scary number there. And if people want to say it's not sustainable, I can't argue with him to that extent. Steps up in the pocket, gets it there before the safety. Great job by Addison. Catch the ball. They ruled that he got his feet inbounds. Completed pass. And the Vikings are in business inside of 35. Ends up with this 3rd and 7. Incomplete pass high to Powell on that same kind of China in route, whip route that Addison ran a couple of plays ago. It's a cool release. They're getting the tight end vertical, and then Powell is going to bring this back underneath, so they're clearing space for him. Additionally, the underneath release is going to clear the space between the top of the numbers and the hash. He's got a defender in his face, so Dobbs really doesn't have an angle necessarily to get the ball out there to Powell. Thankfully, it's not intercepted, so they get one more play. 4th and 7, 52 seconds left in the game, on the road, and he scrambles for 22 yards. On another situation where an NFL-level defender has him in his grasp. And he's not just trying to get the 1st down. He's trying to score. There's a little bit of, I don't really want to use the word crazy, but there's a little bit of, some would say, out-of-control nature, the way Dobbs plays, but I love it. I think he's got the right amount of it. Maybe there's times where you want him to turn the football over less. I think that's pretty obvious. The Vikings get him in practice every day, which I'm sure he's the starter at this point, and get him protecting the football. There's no reason why Josh Dobbs can't be can't be similarly effective, but turn the football over less. But we do have a pretty big sample size this year between Arizona and then the game last week that Josh Dobbs is a guy who's going to turn the football over once per game going against starting caliber NFL defenses. 35 seconds left, I believe, after that scramble. Completed pass to Hawkinson inside. Big hit by one of the safeties over the middle. Creates a 3rd and 4. And then Dobbs makes the winning play of the football game. Now, this ends up being pretty much wide open in terms of the touchdown pass. I mean, when you see the separation on this, that's way too much separation for 25, 30 seconds left in the game, a 3rd and 4 from the 6, so almost really 3rd and goal. There's too much separation for the DB to allow Powell to have, but Dobbs is a guy who will go through the progressions. If you give him time, he'll try to get the football to the right guy. If you don't give him time, if the protection breaks down or they bring a stunt, Josh Dobbs can make plays with his feet. That's what you want. No matter what the level of football is, you'd like to have a mobile quarterback, a quarterback who can make plays when the pocket gets collapsed. At least for 1 week, Josh Dobbs was able to take advantage of his opportunity. I think the way he played in Arizona kind of parlayed this situation for him. Once Kirk Cousins goes down, the Vikings looked across the league, and there just wasn't many guys out there who could do some of the things Josh Dobbs can do. How long is he going to be able to do this? Is he going to turn the football over 4 times in a game and then not be able to come back from that deficit? Sure, that could entirely happen. That could happen this week. But for now, he's got another chance to be a starting quarterback, at least for half a season in Minnesota, as Kirk Cousins is out for the year. I'm going to be honest with you, I can't help but root for the guy. Even as a Ravens fan, watching him operate in the 4th quarter against our defense, which has been lights out for 11 of the past 12 quarters. He lit us up in the 4th quarter in Arizona. He did. They went from down 24-7 to losing 31-24, and they were onside kicking to potentially get the ball back later in the game. I can't help but root for him, and also think that his fearless style of play is a multiplier effect for teammates. They see the way he plays, even if he turns the football over. They know he's trying to make plays. He now has 10 passing touchdowns, including the game winner there to Powell, 5 interceptions. He's got 324 rushing yards on the season, 4 rushing touchdowns, 11 fumbles. That's a huge number. Clearly, he's got to cut that down. The Vikings coaching staff's got to limit the risk with him on the field because he does seem to be susceptible to fumbles. That's who he is for the better part. I'll be honest with you. I'm interested to see how he performs the rest of the year and whether the Vikings can make it work with him. I don't think he's going to go out of any game, no matter who they play, without giving tremendous effort. He now has a lot of talent around him. Addison, hopefully Jefferson's able to come back. He's a 28-year-old guy, really motivated. At this point in his career as a 28-year-old quarterback, he's old, even though he's not really old. He's considered old by NFL front offices. He gets one more chance. I, for one, am rooting for him to take advantage of it. As long as he doesn't end up playing and beating the Ravens at any point this year, I'll be happy. Appreciate you guys' time. If you're a Vikings fan and you checked the video out this long, I appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think of the video in the comment section. If you think other football fans, Josh Dobbs fans, Vikings, Arizona, whatever, would appreciate this content, then please consider grabbing a link to this video, sharing it out on social media to help this content get more reach.